Hello. Hey. How's everyone doing tonight? Alright. Welcome to the Cabin Fever edition. My name's Bernard Chang. I'm joined by, let me see if I can patch in my co-pilot, co-host, Mr. Sean Chen. Sean, are you there? Hey, there we go. How's everyone doing tonight? This is a late night stream. Let me make sure we get our green screens working. Uh-oh. Oops. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Almost. Okay. Sean, can you hear me? Alright. How's everyone doing tonight? Let's see. I guess today, Golf Boy, how you doing? Welcome to the stream again. Yeah, I got my green screen set up behind me. We're in the digital setup. What should we call this? Actually, maybe I should change the cockpit every time. This is the digital setup. So, right now, tonight we're going to be doing some digital drawings. Sean, did you say today was like some kind of anniversary for Teen Titans? C. Jane, welcome to the stream. Was it like the first anniversary of some kind of... I don't know. Does anybody know out there what today's anniversary is? Also, if you guys are on Instagram, if you're following my Instagram account, I posted a picture up there on the Instagram story about the sketch we're going to be giving away later tonight. Since we're not doing any live pencil sketching, tonight's going to be digital. I've already procured a sketch that I've done earlier. And since Sean did a magic, this was a magic I did a while ago, maybe a couple months ago. It's kind of like a warm-up sketch. Let me, what am I doing here? Let me airdrop this. Did you guys hear that outside? The noise from the outside? Maybe I should close the window. If we can hear people outside, that's kind of funny. Alright, where are we here? DC Fandom schedule, yes. When did that start? That starts next week? there was an article in Hollywood Reporter where they interviewed Jim Lee, threw him some hardball questions about the current status of DC Comics. Have you guys read that yet? It's interesting. Jim Lee is still the publisher at DC, despite rumors counter to. He did say that there will be some adjustments to the lineup, but that they're still in business of publishing comics. How do you feel about that, Sean? Hello, hello, Long. Sorry, go ahead. Well, he's still a publisher, but as it was always before, they were going to bring somebody in as a day-to-day operational role, like a general manager. So right now, Marie Javins and the other lady that was handling the YA imprint, they're going to be kind of the de facto editors-in-chief. Yeah, Marie's great. Crispy Papa, welcome to the stream. Greetings. But it's a good read. You guys should read that up. He mentioned that there might be some adjustments to the schedule in terms of publishing line. They might consolidate some titles. They might also expand upon other titles. The main initiative that they want to push towards is global. They want to reach the global market, which I've always been a big proponent of. I've always felt like in order for the comic book market to expand, there needs to be an emphasis on global distribution. So, Kazuto, obrigado, welcome from Brazil. We got a raid. Ooh, Suli. Thank you, Suli. Suli, we were watching your stream. We were lurking. We didn't make any comments, though. You had there were like 4 or 5 guys, 4 or 5 of you guys drawing online. Does Sue want to come into the room? Does she want to talk? Is Sue on Discord? Does she want to talk? I'll bring her in. I don't have an icon for her, but you'll see her voice on the monitor thing. Sue, let me get you a link. Well, you gotta Lee, what is your Discord? Well, it's up to, you're the one that mentioned it. I didn't. I actually don't. Yeah, can you find the? What is Suli's? I have an invite for the audio chat ready to go if she's interested. Yes or no? No? Okay. Oof.
So, what she was drawing was a punchline.
Oh yeah? Oh right, that's right. punchline. Alright, just give me 1 second here while I adjust this picture. Magic is Majik.
Yeah, I think it's G.
Oh, really? Shit, too late. Okay.
Hey, Crispy, how's it
So this is the sketch we're giving away later tonight. Bring this back down behind the cockpit. There we go. You might recognize this on Suli Draws. If I do a search, nothing comes up.
Why is that top or can't hear?
No, oh. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with this Discord, so is she able to find my Discord? Because I can't, like, how do I search members? I mean, this is kind of like a Geico commercial. Rackathon, welcome. So, this magic sketch, gonna be, this is what the giveaway today is. 9x12 with a little color on it. Sean's taking the drawing duties off tonight.
I did a drawing. Oh, Crispy Eggles here.
Crispy Egg Roll, welcome. Crispy's just gonna say hello and then he's gotta go to sleep.
Wei Hyan's here.
Wei, ni hao. Rackathon, Golf Boy, welcome everybody. Crispy's got to go lift some weights. He's got to break the 300 mark.
Wei Hyan's eating as usual.
Wei's eating hot pot? Ooh, that's good. Nice. Well, that's actually, you're supposed to eat hot stuff when you're hot, right? You're not supposed to eat it when it's, just like when it's cold, you're supposed to eat some ice cream. Right? You know that whole adage. When it's cold, you're supposed to eat some ice cream. Not too much, but just a little bit. You know, like a mini scoop. So that once it goes inside your body, the inside of your body recognizes the coldness inside, then starts building up warmth. So you'll be warmer in the long run. Whereas like a lot of people drink hot cocoa or coffee or some kind of hot beverage, but then once the hot fluids go inside of your body always tries to regulate. And then you start sweating. And then in the long run, you have to constantly drink hot stuff, otherwise your body actually cools off to accommodate for the warm stuff that's inside your stomach. So, alright, I don't know, is Suli jumping on or no? Have we given up on that idea? How do I do this? General invite. Let me paste this on here. Everybody can join the Discord. Steve, welcome. Steve, you don't see any video again? Sean, don't tell Steve we've blocked him from watching the video. No, everybody should be able to view. Not everybody's a sub is viewing. Like is Wei a sub? Suli, like C Jing, can you see? C Jing's on here. C Jing says Sean is. Oh, okay, Sean, talk a little bit. Let's see how your voice is. Sean. Did we lose Sean? Let me tone down the space video. VZ in the house. Victor, how are you doing? Is that Victor? Hmm. Rakatan had to reload his screen a couple times to get video, but he's got video. Try refreshing. Maybe clear your history, Steve. You know, like all the cookies from the porn sites. Do a refresh. Sean, let's see. Can you say something? I think.
I
There
think
you
this
go.
is
Okay.
my audio is low.
Okay. Yeah, I punched it up on the
Oh,
OBS. Should be
okay,
better.
cool.
Yeah, man, Victor, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. If you guys don't know VZA in the house, VZA has you have a YouTube site, VZA, Victor? It goes around and tapes a lot of artists. Sean, do you know Victor? Do you know VZA?
I don't think so. No.
He goes to a lot of shows and then he tapes artists doing commissions at shows, so you can actually, watch a lot of drawings take place. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love this. I learn a lot from them.
Yeah. And then there's my here. Just let me prep myself a little bit. Get my tape. Tape on my fingers.
You need the finger even when you're not drawing. You're just
Well, I'm gonna be like on the Cintiq, so.
okay.
You know what's kind of funny? A result of, and let me know if you guys hear an echo. I was getting that echo yesterday. I was watching the replay and I noticed there was an echo at times and it was kind of annoying. So, just let me know, and hopefully we'll get this set up and going. On the other setup, it took a couple of streams to get everything right. So this is a completely new setup, completely new computer. Yeah, so now it's taped, ready to go. What's kind of funny is when you go travel and you got to go through customs, you got to put your finger into the fingerprint thing, right? To check if you are who you are. Because I wear this tape so much, the fingerprint on this finger is completely smooth almost. It's completely smoothed out, so they can never read this finger. So if you're ever into like disappearing, from records, just wear tape on your finger constantly for, I don't know, a couple years, and then I've been wearing this for more than a couple years, but pretty soon your fingerprints will rub out. I mean, my other fingers you can still get the fingerprints off of. So, Mr. Joshua, welcome to the stream.
Oh, Joshua's back.
Yeah. So, Victor, have you gotten any? Yeah, Kazuto, you should watch Victor's stream. It's pretty good when you get a chance on YouTube. Victor, what's the link? What's the YouTube? What's the YouTube link? Well, when you type it, it's coming out like 3 stars. So type it without the link, and then I'll type it with the link. Maybe it'll go through. Like, what's the name of your YouTube channel? Saw. Okay. All right. I saw. Okay.
Oh, Barry's here.
Barry, good to see you, Barry. All right, Sue, I just sent you a link. I just sent Sue a link to join the general chat. Well, if you click on that, you should be added into the general voice chat, and we should be hearing her patch in from Tatooine soon. Barry, welcome to the stream. This is a late night stream. Usually everybody's family's asleep. Sean's kids are tucked in bed. and now it's just us adults.
And no one's going out because of the Rona.
Right. Is your wife still up, or is she asleep too, Sean?
Oh, she's up.
You should put her on stream. See what she want. If she has anything to talk about.
Okay. So what are we? What are you coloring tonight?
All right. I thought I would maybe take the Zealot drawing, and so again, this magic sketch we're gonna give away later. Um, I think I want to take the Zealot sketch, maybe draw out more of her body. Um, let's come to a full stop. Right.
Hey, Too Woke is here.
Okay. Too woke. Too woke with the bird. Always. Let's see here. PSD. PSD. Let me find this Photoshop magic. It's not coming up.
Uh-oh. So does anyone know what an anniversary it is for the Teen Titans?
Yeah,
today?
Sean said that there's an anniversary for Teen Titans today or something. Okay, here we go. Somehow this works.
Hey, Teen Titans.
Okay. That's weird. I clicked the other link and it wasn't working. Now I created a new thing. How's the voice today? No echoing?
Sue says she can't join the voice chat for some reason.
Oh, yeah. I sent you an invite. Let's see if this works. So, if you guys follow the comics news, this was in the solicitations. What issue is this one? Issue. Let me look up Twitter. I think this is issue 48. Double check. Well,
This is 48 or 47. Does that mean you think it's coming to a close at 50?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, a lot of the plans before, there's supposed to be a shift to a new initiative, but then I think that's been put on hold. So who knows? Everything's up in flux. I'm still lucky to be doing covers for these guys. The Teen Titans. These guys are. This is the black and white version. The ink line. This is actually what I'm sending to the colorist, Marcello. So this is the inked piece. Suli, have you been able to? I sent you an invite. Maybe not. Frogman 417. Welcome, Frogman. Where's 417? Is that an area code? Or were you born on April 17th? So this is the finished ink drawing. The gang has a new headquarters. They're sitting on top. Let me see. I think this is 48.
Didn't Frogman say it's 47?
Is it 47? Maybe it's 47. My numbering is like all off on this. because I ended up doing like 2 covers, and then I ended up doing another cover for another issue, and then they canceled it, and so maybe this is 47. Suli. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Maybe next time. Because I have 2 out of 3 slots. I created 3 slots. I create 4
So
users.
Barry says that my floating head looks like I'm yelling at him. Does anyone, someone knows, but anyone know what I'm yelling? And there's a very specific word I'm yelling.
Oh, okay. Try it now, Suli. It should work now. I had to go into permissions. Yeah, Mr. Joshua got it last time.
Yeah, I think if you do a Google search, you'll see me yelling what I'm yelling.
I noticed also sometimes from the last stream, some people asked some questions. I didn't see it because my head was down drawing.
Yeah, it's my job to read the chat sometimes.
I think the Raka asked if there was any kind of difference between animation. Between um, gaming, video games, gaming design, and comic books. And I think the main question he was probably going after was your design work, because in video games, it's mostly design, right? There's storyboarding, uh, but mostly design, environments, characters. And there's design and environments and characters in comics, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Actually, I pulled up some Teen Titans stuff. However, you don't get the same amount of time as you do in other mediums to explore design, because you get basically a month to draw a book. So whatever you can get done in that month, if it takes you a couple of days to design something, um, then that's a couple of days that you're not drawing the actual book. So a lot of times design in comics is somewhat a little bit behind design in video games or animation, especially even in movies. Movies, they spend a year or so, if not more, developing the visual aesthetics, concept design, visual development. So this is a design for Lobo back when DC had the Year of the Villains event. They wanted to change up. How do you like my zit right here? Yes, you can still get zits into your 40s. I don't know. I think this was like an ingrown beard thing because I popped it earlier. But
You
this,
should just say,
I should have
pop it on
saved it.
stream.
I should have, yeah. It's just, you used to love popping zits when you're young. When you're an adult, you don't get that many zits, so the urge was just too much. So Year of the Villain, Lobo was making an appearance in Teen Titans, so he was the Year of the Villain. And so they asked me to do to do a design for what this new Lobo version could look like. But Lobo was already like pretty beefed up, right? He's already, like a huge muscle guy already. So I thought I wanted to reach deep into my wrestling roots, and want to do like a dad bod, not dad bod, like a Bruno Sammartini kind of body. Also give him like a much more scragglier look. like a more rougher beard. Give him like this kind of tattoo, some alien tattoo. Even though I guess he has like healing powers, or he's impervious. So tattoos wouldn't really necessarily, like, I don't think he could be tattooed, right? Um, uh, but what the heck? I mean, it's just a temporary thing, anyways, right? So I thought
Is
maybe
that
some kind of tribal. Hmm?
is that chain anchored to his body with that?
Yeah. So the chain, Lobo's main thing is he has a chain. So the chain is usually outside, but here I had the chain latched onto some of his bones. So essentially, it goes inside of him, and it's part of like um, part of his physical body. So the chains would be kind of inside. You look at the shoulder detail. Um, so it could be kind of gruesome, Maybe if he's pulling at it, like pull something, but it's literally part of whatever he's throwing the chain. I don't know. But then still maintaining like kind of a similar feel that he had before. Right. Blair, yeah, I wrestled, but my wrestling career was short, because Garrett Berman decided to throw an actual figure four leg lock on me, and I thought wrestling was fake.
Did you have that picture of yourself wearing the belt? But I think you're like topless at a con.
Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know. It's in another computer, and I had an older computer, and it like died on me. So needless to say, they didn't like the dad bod or the Bruno Sammartino. That's my thinking was like Bruno Sammartino, the old wrestler, or the Iron Sheik, right? I mean, it's like super strong with this like huge gut, long torso. Because they ended up going back with this kind of a design where he's a little bit more muscular again. Um, we did keep the chain attached to the bone. Made the chain a little bit more rough. Here it's a little bit more cut out. So it's as if like surgically somehow during the course of war, since he is kind of invincible or immortal. I think Lobo's one of the only characters in the DC universe that's fought Superman and come to a tie. Is that true? Um, so that he's just a badass, right? And then again, this was the tattoo. Drew this up. So when Lobo appeared in the few issues that he did in Teen Titans, I used basically this blue tattoo and then transformed and wrapped around his arm whenever it appeared. And then made some of the boots have a little bit more of a flavor, alien flavor to it, alien or kind of demon-esque. The hook, the chain, is a little bit more rough. It's not as smooth. Um, so, yeah, the other guy had the hacksaw Jim Duggan look, right? Hacksaw Iron Sheik. This guy, not so much. This guy's a little bit more refined. He still had a very scraggly look. Right. So going back to this Teen Titans cover, this is what the inks look like. What I did after I scanned it in was I cut out the kids from the background so that this way it makes it easier for Marcello to color, right? And I'm able to also, when I send him a file, throw in some additional digital touches. The buildings I wanted to do like a fade. This is the black and white line art inked, but then in Photoshop added some more buildings in the background. Also in the foreground you can kind of see Roundhouse in his goggles looks up in the sky and sees the silhouette of 6 figures flying down. Also, I did a line hold on some of the skin tones. I kind of enjoy doing that a little bit. Yeah. And then, of course, got to have the signature on the bottom. All right. Any other questions before we start jumping into the sketch?
VZA wanted to know about your X-Men book.
What did Victor want to know about it? I think it's still happening. I mean, I'm working on it right now. There's not much else I can really talk about it. But I can tell you I'm working on it. So, Children of the Atom. Yeah. So, I would say it's gotten mixed reviews online, to say the least.
Without having read it at all. I read it. It's good.
I mean, the book hasn't. What, Sean? You didn't read it. How did you read it? It hasn't even come out yet, and it's already gotten reviews. So go figure. Whatever promo video that they put out, really didn't even scratch the surface of the series. So, Vida Ayala is the writer. Marcello and I are the art team. What can you do? The internet. I mean, didn't a lot of people, when they first announced Ben Affleck as the new Batman, everybody was jumping, going crazy and saying he'd be a horrible Batman. At the end of the day, I thought when the movie came out, he was actually pretty good. Or at least he was a really good Bruce Wayne, maybe. So, Longwoods Mayo. No, Mayo. There's no update right now. We're working on the pilot. Some of these things take a very long time to develop. When there is something to release, I'll definitely let everybody know. But by the way, Sue Lee, you gotta send me your email. I have the
The horse drawing?
well, not the horse drawing.
Okay.
Well, that too. I need her address, but I have the Bizarro. I scanned in the Bizarro piece. But then I realized I don't have an email to send it to you. So here's the Zealot from the other day. Yeah, going back to the Children of the Atom. I mean, a lot of I guess you can call them Comicsgate guys. Had a very adverse reaction to the promotional material. So, I think there's room for everyone in comics. There's room for their books. There's room for my books. There's room for everyone's books. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. You can buy something else. I don't know what else to say about that. Different markets, different mediums, different ways of selling books, different kind of books, different storylines. You know, when I read comics growing up as a teenager, one of my, if not the favorite title was X-Men. I mean, there's Alpha Flight, G.I. Joe, you know, but man, X-Men, really loved X-Men. The Dark Phoenix saga, you know, when Storm left the X-Men and went down and became a leader of the Morlocks. Is that the Morlocks? Is that right? Um, all that stuff, all those stories. Uh, God Love, Man Kills. What was the graphic novel, Sean? Do you remember that? When they had the oversized graphic novels?
I do not recall.
I mean, graphic novels are. Is there a term? Is there like a specific. Can you call. Um, well. So, anyways, I think what they're promoting Children of the Atom is that this group of teenagers are the sidekicks, or the X-Men sidekicks. And, you know, there's not much more I can say about it. Um, that's the official line. But I think, you know, some of the comments have been, I feel, unfair, um, to say the least. But I'll let the work speak for itself. I mean, I think personally it's some of the best work in my entire career. Um, you think you want to, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I think you want to feel like about that on every project that you do, right? Every project you work on, you want it to be the best of your career. You don't ever want to work on something that you're not proud of.
Sure, otherwise there's no point. I
Right.
mean, yeah. So, and we always think the last thing we worked on is the best. So, well, you're extending this drawing?
I'm thinking about it, but um, I don't have the. Because she's holding swords. It's. I'm trying to see if I can extend um, the drawing out a little bit.
But it's not going to be in the matching pencil, though.
Yeah. Right now I'm just sketching out the. All right, I'll use a pencil. I'll use a pencil tool.
Pencil tool.
Pencil tool. Here
Same
we go.
thing.
Let's see. This is one of Kyle's brushes. This one mimics. You know, Procreate has some pretty good brushes, some preset brushes. But Children of the Atom are not the new Teen Titans. I think also the Teen Titan the announcement of the Children of the Atom came out the same week as another book that got roasted as well. Um, they're two very different books. So I think people were upset about the first book, and that anger or displeasure spilled over into our book, which I don't know. You were saying, Sean?
Oh, I'm thinking like you're using Photoshop now, but you've been doing stuff in Procreate, so you can switch back and forth without um, getting confused or.
There's a little bit. Sometimes I'll like Procreate. You can just tap twice, and then that's an undo. Photoshop, it's a Command Z to undo. I don't think I can really extend this figure. It's not how it's already drawn up. It's very difficult. I mean, this would have to be. Does anybody who uses Photoshop CS know how to get from when it's in this stage right here where I'm so zoomed out I can't now move it around the screen? Is there something that I'm doing that um, in the older Photoshop versions I could move it around the screen? If you know what I'm talking about. Sean, do you happen to know?
I do not know. That's beyond my pay grade. Wow, you're really reworking this drawing.
Yeah, I think I can try. I can. I'm dead set on trying to bring her arm forward. I was unable to do that when I was drawing it live. I think I might be able to do it now. I mean, it's almost the same, right? Just covering up some. I think what I'm going to do with the sword, though, is I'm going to bring the sword as if she's holding it like this, as opposed to holding a sword like this. She's like somehow swiveled it back. She's like this. That way, it won't cut into her blades in the back.
Hello, the shoe thief. Is that someone new?
The shoe thief. Hello. I guess you're new, right? New to the stream. Welcome. Welcome tonight. Tonight is a digital drawing session. I'm joined here with Sean Chen and myself. Everybody make sure you guys... Victor, did you ever give me the name of your YouTube channel? Just give me the name and then I'll type in the YouTube stuff beforehand. That way everybody can see it, because I think there's something to do with the chat. Actually, Sean, if you type something in, I gave you moderator status, Sean, to see if it works. Shoe thief, do you hang around
Foot Locker?
Foot Locker? We'll hang around trucks. A lot of stuff that falls out the back of a truck. Right? Is that the universal rule? If it falls out the back of a truck, it's fair game.
Are you making this drawing hard on yourself?
Yeah, this is, let me move it up. People can't see.
I like that arm coming forward, though. It really kind of keeps it from being in one plane. So
right. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do last time, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't work it out. But this time it seems to work, right?
Yeah, it looks natural.
It's just the rest of her torso is kind of like, I don't know if it works. But, right? That works. Yeah. I think I just do that. Forget the rest of her. Forget the rest of her. The bottom of her torso. Just go down to the rib cage.
Yeah, it's a bust.
Because the head is also just too.
Oh, it's in line with the body.
You know, if I rotate it a little bit, the head is too stiff. for this particular pose.
Yeah, a lot of times if you don't have a pose in mind while you start drawing, you'll draw the head and then put the body kind of in line with the head. And then you just basically have a forward facing pose. So it's kind of important to know what pose you're doing. In fact, David Finch, he'll draw, gesture in the whole figure, and he'll draw the body first and then put the head in later because he says the head is an appendage just like the arm and legs. So starting with the head, a lot of times you finish a figure and then you erase the head and redraw it in a better position. So
Yeah, because if this was really the drawing, I would probably move the head down.
you're really reworking this. I mean, you can. This is like a coloring demo, right?
It was supposed to be a coloring demo. All right, let's go back. Let's forget about that. Let's just color this thing. I mean, if I bring the arm forward, if I just brought the arm forward, can I just do that? How would that look if I just brought the arm forward?
I think it works.
Okay. And then figure out this her arm.
So that arm's really not going to show, right? If you crop it right under her boobs.
Yeah, well, most of the arm wouldn't show because in theory the arm would be, it's like cocked back, right? So if one arm is forward, if it's always in a fighting stance, if you're in a fighting stance, one arm's forward, the other arm's back. Okay. All right. Fooling around too much.
Yeah.
Let me darken this bad boy up a little bit.
So what happens with her phantom arm? I mean, you got to pencil that to match the other pencil.
Yeah, let me see if this hopefully when
Well, that's pretty convincing. You match the pencil pretty well.
this is the Kyle's HB. I know he has a whole other set of pencils. Right now I'm creating a layer, separate layer on top, just to wipe out.
That's a tough hand pose to draw, and you're going to do it without any photo reference, right?
Nope, of course not. No photo reference.
Because I would take a picture of my own hand because I don't think I can kind of fudge it, but I don't think it'd be that accurate if I just drew it out of my head.
No photo reference. Not for this stream. No photo reference. We're going blind. We're flying in without a map. What kind of gloves does she have, or armor on her arm?
Oh,
Is it just like a forearm thing?
maybe it's really complicated.
It might have like all these spikes. What if it has all these spikes? think who's taking the class with? Is it Mr. Joshua? That's taking the
No,
class with Ryan. Do you know what I'm talking about? Who said they
Ryan
were?
Benjamin.
Yeah, who said they were taking a class with Ryan Benjamin?
Yeah, I forgot.
I think it was Mr. Joshua. He posted some stuff on the Discord last stream. Yeah. Don't want to get too carried away in details right now. Any plans for the weekend? Well, because the hand is like this, or it's going to be something like this.
Ah, see, there you go. There's your reference. You're looking at your own hand on stream. I knew it.
But the blade is going to be something like this. Does she have 5 fingers, or does she have only 3? Like 4, like a cartoon.
Unfortunately, she has like 10 fingers on one hand.
10 fingers.
No.
Shit. Long, we haven't seen Long in a while. Long, where have you been?
Well, you're just free-handing the whole length of that blade.
Yeah. Why? How else would I do it?
You break out the French curves.
No, man.
You do the path tool.
We're riding this without wearing seatbelts today, Sean. I mean, most of the time when I'm drawing, I don't like to use rulers that much. I might have a set guideline on the back of the board for with rulers, if it's perspectives. Like that, of course, that Teen Titans stuff, I had rulers. I had some perspective lines. Also I had a picture reference.
Yeah, I mean, I used to think that it was important to use rulers, but the problem is, if you use it in one place, it makes everything else look not that accurate. And Jim Lee says that straight lines are boring. So
Yeah.
if your lines are slightly off, that's like kind of the artistic flair, and it kind of matches everything else. So, I mean, you can use a ruler to do all the straight lines, but then on those curved areas where you're freehanding, or like if you have like drawing a spaceship, and then you get those like cylindrical engines in the back, you have to draw those ellipses, and sometimes you don't have the right template or whatever. You have to freehand those ellipses, but then the whole rest of the spaceship is done with rulers, and all you can notice when you look at it is like crappy ellipses that you drew. So if everything is consistently off, it not only adds more life, but it also, everything kind of looks the same level of offness, so that nothing stands out.
Well, because I was going back with Mr. Joshua. I mean, if you want, we can. I think we'd be open to. It's up to you. Taking a look at whatever assignments you're doing with Ryan, and then.
So you're gonna give him conflicting critiques?
He might get the same critique.
Well, and then you might not, but then he's paying.
Might not. Yeah. Well, he's paying Ryan, but he's not paying us. He's getting this for free. I mean, worst case scenario, he doesn't agree with it, and then it's free advice. He doesn't have to take it. Right? Wow, what is that sound? What's going on back there? Do you hear that roar in the background? It's the fucking
Is
building
it?
next to us.
Oh, nothing in your Citizens app?
No, it's I'm gonna close the window in a second. There's a new construction literally right across the street from me, and I think they fucked up. Like their basement garage is keeps getting flooded, so they didn't properly seal it. So they've been turning on the fans at all hours. And right now it's 9:30. This is past. They have until 10 o'clock. City ordinance, noise disturbance. Otherwise, after 10 o'clock, I'm gonna call the cops on them. Now it's going down, right? Now it's not as loud as before. What? Let me. I gotta pull up some reference. See what this Zealot's arm looks like.
So actually, Long says he was never in this Twitch stream before.
No. What about the other one before? Like a year or two ago. All right. She has like. Okay. All right. Okay. Kind of like this ribbed. I don't know why, like my drawing keeps moving to the left side over you, Sean. I think it's maybe based on how I'm seated. She has this one thing that kind of goes over her elbow.
All right, so we're ready for color.
Almost. I think I might discard this arm. And just go back to the original drawing. I'm trying to force. I'm trying to force a square peg into a circular hole.
Yeah, because usually you have the pose in mind, and then everything kind of springs forward from the general.
It's way too stiff. All right, let's go back. Okay.
I think it looks fine though, but
It's a little stiff.
all right.
All right, you look at that. She's like, it's not very action oriented. I mean, I haven't added any shadows to it, or shading, but it's just a little too stiff. All right. Yeah, it's a little too stiff. I just go back to the original. Frustrating.
Happens. Gotta explore. Sometimes you don't really know till you do it.
Let's see here. Let me stay with. Let me finish.
So now it's not the arm, but you're working on something else.
Well, I'm gonna close this up because
Yeah, you gotta be able to terminate the color border at some
Yeah.
point. Yeah, I love, if I'm drawing in a style kind of like with Olivier Coipel, sometimes if light floods a surface, the holding line disappears and certain objects blend together. And I like doing that, but it just must be hell for the colorists because they got to actually start drawing with color because a lot of lines are gone.
So I'm doing is just magic wanded the whole outside, the whole outside. I'll do a select, modify, expand 1 pixel so it goes in a little bit, and then delete. So now when
And
I create these separate color, I can go in.
wow, I don't know how to do that.
Color line hold. Let me do a quick flat. She's oh, okay. White hair. For the sake of time, I'm gonna use the lasso real quick. This is a separate layer. I'm just flatting right now. This is a quick flatting of the colors.
Wow, that's some great lassoing.
Well, because it's the pen. I'm using the pen tool. I don't know how people use the mouse, but I guess people are used to the mouse, so if you're used to it, more power to you. And then it's just the rest of the outfit is, with the exception of the hair, is red. Right? Ba-bam.
For anyone, if you have no artistic skill and you want to be in comics, doing art in comics, one of the greatest ways to get in is by flatting because anyone can flat. It's a lot of work and you can really help someone out. And um, so a lot of people enter coloring through flatting.
$10 a page, 15 maybe.
Yeah, you can flat all day. I don't know how many pages you can get done, but at the end of the day, you have enough money for a nice dinner. Well, with your girlfriend. It's good
Well,
honest
look,
work.
if you're making like $10 and you can flat a page in 45 minutes, it's $15. Is that $15 an hour? It's like a minimum wage.
I think sometimes it can go down as low as $7 a page for a flat. So, I mean, it's just tedious lassoing, and you don't have to make any color decisions. In fact, you can just dump in whatever random color.
Most flatters are overseas, so minimum wage of $15 an hour is a lot, or a lot more than what they might be making.
And you can do it. I think you just send them the files, and you do it in your own home. And I think it's great. I'm wondering what's the youngest someone can start flatting? Because I think like
8th grade?
there you go. That's Travis.
Yeah, your son. I mean, isn't that part of the whole reason of having kids? Is
Yeah,
so
to
you
rule your panel borders and flat your color.
free layouts. I mean, free labor.
Yeah.
They gotta earn that. They gotta earn their meals. But I mean, if they can do a coloring book, um, they can flat. You know, if I had a kid, they'd be flatting. They can, Can't eat dinner until you finish flattening that page.
I've been to your house where you've been in various relationships, and they're always flatting for you.
Yeah, I mean,
I
all
don't
for
know.
one for all. I
Child labor.
I paid somebody $25 a page for flats once. 20 or
Well,
25.
that's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. Because they're here in the states. They're like a student. 15, $20 a page.
That's a lot.
You know, some pages there's only like four. Like, if it's a 4-panel page and it's just close-ups of people talking, that's super fast, right? And of course, there's other pages that are a little bit more complex. So it all works out at the end of the day. But
Yeah, sometimes you get a page with like, if it's in a snowstorm, so there's all these like little pill shapes all over the place. That's you gotta isolate each one of those. It's a nightmare.
I mean, I guess the most expensive part would be the computer equipment to do this. But if you're in school, if you go to like college, you go to the student lab, college lab, and not anymore right now, but in the past. All right. Oh, I wanted to bring her face in a little bit. Her face is a little flat.
What do you mean bring her face in?
This part of her face was a little. I'm gonna warp it. Can you guys see? Oops.
And it's already colored.
No. Bring it in a little bit.
I remember you came over to my house and you didn't know uh, that warp tool existed.
Yeah. Learn something new every day.
Yeah, like you're going through a book that I had on digital art. I think it was one written by Freddie Williams, something like that. And you're looking at it, and you were like deep in thought, and then you shut the book, and you're like, and then like there was gears going in your head.
I mean, I never took a class on Photoshop. This was just all this stuff is just trial and error. Just learn enough to get the job done. You're getting paid. If it's the best part is if you're, I always you take on a project. They're like, hey, can you do this? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I can do it. And then you learn. I mean, you learn on your own time. But I was actually just doing a logo, company logo for my cousin's company. He's like, yeah, can you do a logo? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, all right.
I
And
think
it's on Illustrator. I mean, I drew it first in Photoshop, like all the rough stuff, like with the pen. But then, in order to submit the final drawing had to be in
El Kabong is here.
oh, Capone. The final piece had
Yeah,
to be in Illustrator. So I'm watching YouTube videos on how to do gradients or merge objects.
I think it was Ben Caldwell who said that, well, as an artist, if they ask you if you can do something, if anyone asks you if you know how to do something, the answer is always yes, unless it's like defusing a nuclear bomb. But I mean, you just basically say yes and then learn on the job. You say yes and then you crap your pants, and then you watch a bunch of YouTube videos
Yeah.
and figure it out.
I mean,
But
I've installed a faucet. I've installed a shower head. Um, you'd be really proud of me, Sean.
that's cool. Although, I've been working for Famous Frames, and one of the jobs, it was supposed to be storyboards drawn in pencil, whatever, and they were fine with pencil and ink. And then it switched over to digital. So the guy wrote me an email, and the agent is CC'd, and he says like, well, this job is now going to be, we want all the artwork digital. Can you do digital? And I answered back immediately, like, sure. And then the agent wrote an email back and said no, he cannot.
Oh, who was that? Which one was that? Who wrote that?
And
Janine?
it's a new agent. No, it wasn't Janine.
I would have been like,
And they gave it to someone else. But
yeah.
it doesn't really matter. I mean, they get paid either way, but there was a risk in sending me there.
All right, so we got this pretty much flattened out. You know, it's this might be a little too saturated. Okay. All right, let's go after this. Usually I like to start, adding some shadows first.
So yeah, I thought you used to do this thing where you would do a complete gray value thing and then switch it to colors
I would,
later.
yeah. This is essentially the gray value right now. This shadows. So
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to work. Like, if you're kind of new to coloring and you want to take baby steps, you can separate the color decisions from the value decisions. Because when you're coloring, a lot of times you're working on like two channels at once, which is like the value, 10% to 90% gradations. But then you're also picking the colors, so you're doing two things at once, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming. So you can kind of just do a black and white gray tone, the whole thing, and then select areas and turn that gray tone into, flesh, and then the shirt color, whatever. And you can do that to an extent.
yeah. So
Um,
if you want, I'll use the gray. If this helps explain that.
and there are some situations where it works against you. Um, Especially like if you get into the face, there's a lot of color there. There's like maybe blues or purples around the eyes, but then there's reds around the nose and the cheek. The gray value thing is not going to catch that. It's just going to turn from gray to flesh tone, and then you end up getting something like a mannequin effect, where it's just kind of, just flesh tone without any type of coloration. Um, so in some places it doesn't work too well.
So you want me to go back to colors now, Sean?
Oh no. But you can add the stuff in another step, right? I mean, I always do the gray tone thing.
Well,
Um,
yeah. So I mean, this gray tone, and I use the Command U, hue saturation, colorize. You can kind of use this.
so do you flatten it down first?
No. This is all still on separate layers. But what happens if you do it this way? You gotta then go in and color pick it, but it's not the same. You gotta make sure you choose the darkest version of that color. I mean, I try not to nowadays. If I'm doing the gray tone, I'll try not to do like the tonal shade. I'll try not to use gray. I usually pick um, like a brown or a tan or some kind of
Sepia.
warm, yeah, some kind of warm color because if I use a blue or gray, it makes when they color it, and I know it's like a skin tone, that's going to be the base. They have a, it's like unless it's a nighttime scene or a nightclub scene, they can look like they're dead almost. The figure, and here I'm going actually back and forth between this light. What color would you say this is? Like a rose, like a rose gold.
Yeah.
It's almost like a rose gold and white. So again, I'm painting and I'm subtracting with the white. I'm not erasing. We're missing Yoji today.
think Adam Hughes says that if you want to learn coloring, he recommends that you learn traditional coloring first with like watercolor and gouache, and then you switch over to digital.
Yeah. And also, I'm only getting a particular percentage of darkness with this rose gold. I can probably go in later with another layer of shadow. What do I do here since she doesn't have pupils? How is
Oh, it's just white, right?
yeah.
Yeah, none of that airbrush stuff going on.
I don't think I've airbrushed stuff since 2003, 2004.
I mean, you would think when it comes to coloring women that you would use the airbrush all the time. I know when I took a coloring class, all the students were just using the airbrush tool. Um, Even though it was Chris Sotomayor that was teaching us, and he was doing this sort of technique where it's just like lassoing and lassoing, and I'm just taking selections and then um, bumping up the percentage up or down to get the different um, chiaroscuro. But then when we started working on our own, everyone just took the airbrush, just lassoed an area to select it, and then just airbrushed inside, and you can kind of instantly get volumetric form. But we don't see that in comics, so it really doesn't work that well.
Sean, you have an iPad now too, right?
I do, yeah.
Have you started drawing on the iPad?
A little bit. I mean, that's what I told my agent, but um, yeah, I played around with it a little bit. But my screen is kind of small.
Oh, what size iPad do you have?
It's the one that everyone has. I don't think it's the one that was ideally for drawing,
I
but
got the
still,
12.8. That's the
yeah,
biggest one.
I don't,
Oh, you gotta
yeah.
get that one. Screen size is important, especially drawing, because you have like all these tools on the right hand side um, that cuts into your screen size, what you can see. So
So in these shadows, you can still see the layer color underneath, right? So
yeah,
um, if the base layer is like a 20%, and then you're using like a 20% for the shadow, and it ends up being 40%, right? Because you can see they kind of double up on each other since they're transparent.
yeah, it's because it's multiplied too. Now I'm going in with like just adding some white gradients just to I feel like smooth it out a little bit, but so I can go back and make things a little bit darker where I want it to be.
So when you go darker with that warm color, you ever have any problem with the shadows turning red and then they get more saturated and then they start to pop forward because they're red?
Yeah. Well, I think I can adjust that later. Right now, I'm looking at this. This red is, yeah, it's really intense. I think the shadow needs to be probably a little bit darker. A little warmer. Now I gotta go back, switch this back to normal, and try to find where the darkest part of this rose gold is, and use that. Which I think. Switch it back to multiply.
It's kind of scary when you take the line work away, or you can see how kind of scribbly it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what the shadow layer looks like right now. There's a lot of emphasis on her boobs. Maybe we'll add a. What do they call it? Where the light's coming from the other side?
That's the dual light source, or like the reflected light.
Yeah. What do they call that? Because right now, again, the light is coming from. The light is coming from this area. Ooh, what just happened? Sean, you got plans for the weekend?
Oh, well, that work on the book launch stuff.
So when is your book launch gonna come out? When is it gonna?
September 1st. So I've got a bunch of interviews and podcasts to do and stuff like that. They're lining up for me.
Interviews where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a publicist lining that stuff up.
Oh,
So
really?
then,
Oh,
yeah, they hired someone.
nice. I need to hire a publicist. Let me know if they're any good.
You know who's? I don't know if you've seen her. She's a kind of around the industry a lot. This person named Lisa Y Wu or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and she's at Tommy's place right now, but she really gets around and really pounds the pavement and seems to do a ton of work.
She texted me yesterday.
Really
From Tommy's place, yeah.
Oh. So VZA, the book, you can see it you can actually read the entire book at Next Chapter Post on Instagram. So there's a printed form coming out in September.
If they can read the book already, if they can read the story, they're buying the book for a collected version, for a collectible.
Yeah, that, and also there's extra stuff in there because I think what Carl does is he wants to focus on education and outreach. So he's kind of framing it as kind of showing everyone the creative process, because he's saying that there's a lot of people with these ideas for stories and they want to either get like a Netflix pitch going or something like that. So one of the easiest ways to put out a comic book. So it kind of teaches you how to write and draw and to work in our medium. So there's that aspect of it. So thanks, VZA. Yeah, you should give it a read and let me know what you think.
Are you working with Justin?
Who is Justin?
Justin, oh, I forgot his last name. He used to write. Well, so this is all your own. But he's launching this new company as well, right?
Right.
Are there any other books that are being launched at the same time?
Not at the same time, but there are ones that I think there's like 3 in progress. So I don't know if he knows how long it takes to put out a comic, but he seems to move pretty fast.
Right.
Yeah, Justin Jordan you're talking about.
Justin Jordan, yes.
Yeah, he's got something going with him.
Justin Jordan told me he once drinks like 2 liters of Diet Coke a day. I'm like, that's not healthy for you. I used to drink 2 liter of Diet Coke a day. That was not very healthy either.
I don't really think it's that bad for you.
Diet Coke?
No, it's... If you're talking about the artificial sweetener, it's completely safe.
Really? I mean,
Yes.
Since I stopped drinking Diet Coke, I've lost a ton of weight.
Well, yeah, there is that. I mean, it might get you used to consuming a certain amount of sugar. So you kind of break that habit by cutting it out.
I mean, I still have like sugar cravings, but not as bad as before. Plus, doesn't Justin live like in a forest somewhere?
He looks like he does. He's like one of the most unusual looking guys. He looks like, I don't know.
It looks like he has a manifesto somewhere that he hasn't released yet. I mean, super nice guy. It just looks like he has a manifesto somewhere.
Yeah, he's such a talented writer.
Have you worked with him before?
I haven't, but I think um, he's working with the publisher I'm working with. So uh, Carl sends me all the notes. So Carl, the publisher, has these ideas for stories, and he had me sit on some Zoom meetings to get my opinion. I thought the story was kind of going in a bad place or whatever, and then he will loop in Justin Jordan, and Justin Jordan will give notes, and his notes are always spot on. Like he can point out all the potential problems and use all of his experience and get the story in a good place. And that's kind of one of the things he does. He writes a story, but he also consults on the writing side, and I kind of consult on the art side for all of his projects.
How did you meet Carl?
Through you.
Through me?
Yeah, well, he was a big Valiant fan, and I think you met him just out of happenstance. I think you went to someone's house, and he was doing some sort of Bible study.
Uh, well, my ex-wife,
Oh, yes, her.
her roommate, they would have the Bible study in their place.
Right. So this guy Carl, the publisher, used to do these experiential event things with I don't know what they're like, escape rooms or stuff like that, or some kind of branded experience
Yeah,
stuff.
branded experience. Yeah.
But then now we're in the coronavirus era. None of those branded experience are even legal anymore. So he switched to comic book publisher.
Yeah. What's funny too is like my wife would help walk her roommate's dog. Or my ex-wife. And then the dog would poop, right? So they would have like these quote unquote biodegradable bags, and then scoop the poop up. And then when she get home, she like throw it behind this bush between the building. It was like in front of the building, it's like this huge bush. So one day I'm like, "Why are you throwing it there?" She's like, "Oh, it's gonna biodegrade." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that stuff doesn't like biodegrade in a week or a month. Stuff sits there, right? How long does biodegradable bags?"
I guess this is kind of one of the reasons why she's not with you anymore, right?
I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, yes, it's biodegradable. What can you do?
Well, technically, then she's not littering because um, it's sort of like cigarette butts, right? They're biodegradable.
Yeah, but cigarette butts. It's not plastic. It's not a plastic bag. I mean, technically, everything is biodegradable, right? Is it? Is everything
Yeah,
biodegradable?
given enough time, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on with the coloring?
Well, there. What do you think? How's the shadow? I think I add another shadow layer. Maybe I use a slightly darker brown. Multiply again.
Golf Boy Sunday is asking, why did she pick up the poop in the first place if she's just gonna throw it at a building?
Well, it's their building too. It's like it's not even like an enemy's building. It's like their building. And you don't smell it because the bags are tied up, but still, like it's accumulating. And like looking back, there's a huge pile of like these bags, like. Uh,
And you're like, baby, I don't know if I can be with you.
well, I still overlooked that. That was very early in the relationship. Right now, I'm just adding some gradients.
It's kind of you're working against a white background.
Yeah, I shouldn't do that.
Well, I mean, it was always kind of discouraged because then when you do put in a background, everything ends up being, I don't know what, too bright or too dark because um, I don't know.
Okay. All right. What color should the background be?
Usually, I think the conventional wisdom is you can just put down a gray tone so that it's not white.
This?
Well, it's kind of like a mustard.
This?
Yeah, do it like a neutral gray, and you can decide what color it is later.
Okay.
See, now you can see the light on her hair and everything, and the highlight on her armor will show up.
Well, like the dog's pooped, and it wasn't even her dog. It was the roommate's dog.
So, what did her roommate do with that dog poop?
I don't know.
Why put
I
it
think
in
I think
the
I think the
trash can?
roommate also threw it in behind the bush.
Wow, that must be crazy. Like every single day.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
And that dog was like it was a nice dog. But it was like what are those Aussie Shepherd dogs with the
oh,
blue eye?
those are, yeah, great. Those are really smart.
Yeah, but those dogs require like exercise.
Yeah, because they're natural herders, right? So
Right. Yeah,
yeah.
they're running. They need to run around. And meanwhile, it's cooped up inside their home all the time. That's what I don't get too. A lot of times, I live downtown. You see all these people with like these huge dogs. I'm like, you live in an apartment, maybe 1,000 square feet, concrete or hardwood floors, and you have like a huge, huge dog. And it's like, I can understand if you had a backyard and I may have two birds.
Well, the birds actually present their own kind of problem, right? I mean, they're super smart, so they need to be mentally stimulated, and they live for like some crazy amount of long time, right? I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes live as long as people do.
Uh, well, the birds, because my ex wanted to. We went over to somebody's house once, and they had these kind of birds. They had these two parrotlets, and so she was like, "Oh, those are super, super cute." And she talked about wanting to get a pet. So that's why we got the birds.
And there was no custody battle for them.
Well, technically, originally they were her birds, but after she moved out, occasionally she would look after them whenever I went on a trip, but not every time. And eventually, she moved to another place where she told me she couldn't. Oh shit. Or she couldn't look after the birds anymore. So I'm like, well, if you can't look after the birds, then I'm looking after them all the time. I think I should take custody of the birds. Right? I mean, it's only fair. I'm gonna look after the birds until such point where she moves to a place where then she can take them over. I mean, I'm gonna develop this kinship
Like
with the birds.
attachment, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, she's just gonna throw their shit behind a bush.
Right.
So, how long do these birds live?
18 years.
Oh, that's not that bad. I mean, I thought some parrots live as long as people do.
Oh yeah, no, the big parrots, like the grays and the macaws. They live 50, 60, 70 years, maybe more. That's why a lot of times they have multiple human owners or caretakers. Maybe that's the proper term for that. Because they outlive a lot of their human hosts. You know? You watch a lot of I watch a lot of these videos too now online. It's kind of funny too with the birds. They can mimic like cell phone rings. Any kind of like electrical. And if you're watching a particular kind of TV for a long time, it'll mimic that noise as well. Right now, I'm just highlighting the red part in her armor.
What do you mean highlighting it?
Magic lassoed it. So the brush isn't going. It's only going in the armor. It's not going outside on her skin.
So you like isolated the
Yeah.
red part.
Yeah. Again, I don't really have a technical experience in Photoshop. I basically just learned what I need to learn for whatever jobs.
And the scary thing is, you're the one that taught me. So whatever you know, I just know even less. But the cool thing about Photoshop is it's so powerful. It can do like 1,000 things. But really, you end up using the same 5 things over and over again.
Yeah, that's why like even sometimes upgrading is like, is it really worth it to upgrade? Because when you're coloring or painting with it, there's actually probably better programs to paint with it, like Painter. But
Make Havoc wants you to draw a 90s
the 90s what?
90s Prophet,
90s
the
Prophet.
Liefeld character.
Yeah, maybe next week.
Make Havoc talks in by highlighting so they can be heard. We're going to consider those to be super chats. So thanks for the $10 super chats.
Well, you gotta charge them.
Amazon Prime.
You gotta charge them double that.
Yes. Anyone who highlights what they say that's technically a super chat, and you'll be billed through Amazon Prime.
Yeah. So what happens when you highlight? You have to. Is there something that you have to, like? How are you able to do that? Do you accumulate particular points, and then you're able to do that, and then you run out of points, and you gotta accumulate them more. Do you buy them? How does that work? I'm curious. I mean, because it's pretty effective, right? I mean, definitely I see whenever Steve posts stuff, I just ignore him sometimes. I'm not purposely ignoring other people's, but Steve's I do sometimes ignore. But so what are channel points? That's I know you guys mentioned that last time. Sean, do you know what channel points are?
Oh, I guess. Well, you watch a stream however
Oh,
long, and you accumulate points.
oh, okay. So you don't have to pay for it.
And maybe you watch. You know the thing that you watch ads.
All right.
You're so zoomed in, we don't even see what you're working on.
You don't see? I'm working on the
Oh,
shoulder.
it's
Yeah. How do I get the? I see some other people's Photoshop screens, and you can see where the cursor is, but you guys can't see where my cursor is. Is there an option that I'm not clicking to allow that to happen? Eventually, Sean, one of these days you'll get to draw on here too.
maybe.
I mean, who wants to see Sean draw besides me? Sean, all you
Well,
need is a webcam. You can actually use your phone. I think you can use your phone.
well, I before I would say absolutely not because it's slow and you see a lot of mistakes. But then I watch everyone else stream and then they're making mistakes all the time. And what really opened up my eyes how often Jim Lee makes mistakes. So I was like, if he makes mistakes, then hell, I'm allowed to.
This is my favorite part, adding some scratches. Although I think I might be doing this too quickly. Meaning, I think I should do another layer of like shadows and highlights before I start getting too detailed.
When you do the highlights, is that on a screen layer?
Right now, yeah. Right now this is shadow, so it's multiply. Multiply basically takes whatever color you're working on, and then blends it in. So darker colors blend in with whatever's underneath. Screen is the opposite. Screen takes colors and makes it brighter. So you know, I don't know if that's explaining it properly.
Well, it's sort of like using a whiteout pen or whiteout gel pen.
Yeah. So right now, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do screen, and I'm gonna use let's say an orange. Let's see how that looks. Right. Let's kind of see that.
Yeah, what is the highlight for red? Is it orange or is it pink?
Well, I use orange. This is like a light orange. And I'm very lightly holding the pen right now. So
Okay, so that's set on a screen layer.
yeah. I mean, the more pressure I put on my pencil,
Ooh, and some gradient stuff.
I could use a yellow. You kind of see the yellow.
But you don't go all the way to white, right?
No, no, no. I very rarely. The only time I use white is again if I have to. If I'm punching up the eyeball, like the pupil.
Right. Yeah, one thing I noticed a lot of times when like amateur coloring stuff, when it comes to doing a shiny surface like spandex or metal, the highlight is always just the white radial burst. So it ends up being just that perfectly circular gradation,
Yeah.
and they don't really shape the light. Like you would actually have to like what we do is we draw the highlight to conform to the surface, but they just kind of drop a like a ding in there, and it just kind of spreads out evenly on all sides.
I mean, I think we used to do that when I was younger, but
Yeah.
I'm not that great with color, but I do know that I don't really want to use white. This is like a warmer color, so it's an indicator of maybe daytime. Um, At nighttime, I might use like a blue or green. And like I still might come, let's say we hit her with another, like a light blue. You can see how, maybe the light blue, maybe even down here.
Oh, so it's like a different color temperature from a different light source.
Yeah. Right. That might give you a better indicator. And a lot of people want to do like an opposite rim light.
Rim light always makes it look more three-dimensional. That is dramatic.
It's too much.
Very ballsy. But I mean, the cool thing is you can kind of just play with the levels and it'll dissipate some.
And also, if you notice blue over, it gives it like a very night color. Right? Like a nighttime.
Right. Yeah, like the dusk thing. Sue wants to know if you're using one of them fancy Cintiqs.
I have a Cintiq. What is this? HD
22,
24
22
HD.
HD.
Yeah, HD. Yeah. I got this 2 years ago as well.
So,
No, 3 years ago maybe.
Sue, you don't have one of those fancy Cintiqs? I kind of just maybe I'm spoiled, but I kind of just got used to everyone I know using them. So I just kind of assumed that everyone has them.
I used to have a the 21, which is more square, and actually this one took a while for me to get used to, because the screen is more widescreen. It's a little
Yeah, it's
bit
the
more
landscape mode.
Yeah.
But can't you kind of just tilt it?
I guess you
'Cause
could rotate it.
you can
Yeah.
slide it, yeah.
I mean the original one, it was more square, so it suited drawing comics better because comics is usually vertical, right? Comic book covers, comic book pages.
Right. So, Sue, when you draw, you're on that tablet thing where your stylus is not anywhere near what's going on the screen. Is that... It sounds like your thing is it's gonna die soon because your bamboo is wrapped with electrical tape, so that can go at any time.
That shin looks kind of weird. I mean, you can add the rim light. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's see if we change the rim light color, go into hue.
And that's a cool effect.
Now this is like a pink. purple.
Oh, so Sue, I guess, doesn't do much digital stuff. Sue Lee is a ink slinger.
Here she's fighting in the prairie because of the green reflection from, I don't know.
Prairie.
Yeah, I think I like
The,
this.
the
This
grass.
teal. Yeah. I mean, if I didn't like, I like to also just, add another layer. What time is it? An hour 57. All right, you want to give away, you think we should give away the sketch now? I can always finish this next stream. People's got to go to sleep. And I do have to get back to work. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take you an hour to set up that wheel, right? So.
Yeah. All right. I'll come back and do the highlights. Finish the highlights, but you guys get an idea of what this is going to look like.
It's cool. It's very dramatic, very bold. Like I don't think I would have the balls to try that, but it's working.
You can always erase it if you don't like it. Pen and ink. I mean, some of these digital guys, for movies and video games, they are like masters at this. I've seen some guys color some stuff or paint some stuff, and it's like they would be done by now. They would have been, and they would have had a whole underpainting on this. Yeah. I mean, we're I'm just kind of winging it right now.
Yeah, I just want to take one of those classes. I mean, you see ads for those classes where they teach you to do that stuff. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
All right. Sean, you want to stream again tomorrow, or you got stuff to do?
I think I can. I did a drawing to give away, but.
Well, I got another one.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah. I guess we're not doing this on this schedule forever. I happen to be in between books. I have 2 fill-ins on Batman Beyond. So I am off for a little bit, and that's why we're streaming like every single day. But usually we're much busier.
Yeah.
Which is why we can give out drawings every single night, because it's not gonna be forever. So.
Yeah, my thoughts are like we're gonna do this for a little bit when we can, right now, due to scheduling. Eventually, some of this is going to. It's unsustainable. Especially once Sean's schedule picks back up again, once my schedule picks back up, it's gonna be hard to sustain. But all right, well, let's see. That's Zealot. Let me save this. Oh, forgot. Also got to save this.
Cool lighting effect, and it's very atmospheric with the haze and everything.
Yeah, what else we can do to it afterwards is like, man, you can. Let's add another layer on top. Get rid of this one. I can even.
Oh, there's that arm.
So this layer is on top of all the line art, and it's also, you can see it's kind of covering the gray area, the gray background. So it's almost like there's another secondary light up there. And then if we play with the layer options, if you screen,
Is that set to screen?
yeah, that's set the screen. This is set to color dodge. Color dodge has a particular, you just play around with it. I don't really understand some of these. Soft light is another one I've been using a lot.
Color dodge seems to be the one that everyone like Ross draws. He goes color dodge crazy, and it's like the highlight. It's the climax of every drawing he does.
Yeah, it makes it like super like bright and intense. Right, color dodge. Right, look at that intensity in that. I'm not versus the screen. Screen is kind of a little bit more muted out. I'm not like. It depends. I don't know. Depends on what it is. Oh, this is even nice. Linear light. Look at this.
Wow, that was cool.
Right? This one, compared to color dodge. Like color dodge. Linear light. Linear light's like color dodge, but like a little bit, not as loud. 75%. Steve subscribed. Steve wants to win the magic sketch. All right, let's set up the wheel here.
Okay.
Do you have any Noxzema? Not Noxzema. What is that? What is that?
For your pimple?
Oxy. What is that? Oxy. Not Oxycontin. Oxy. What was it? Zit cream.
Oh, it's been so long since I was a teenager.
Is it Noxzema? Oxy something, right? Wasn't it Oxy something?
I don't get zits. I get age spots.
Oh, that's another thing. Age spots, man. I think this might be an age spot right here.
Yeah, in fact, you know that when you taped up your finger, that part of you taped up your tip of your finger, that's the only part of my body that doesn't hurt.
Really? Man. This joint right here. Sometimes now too, my whole hand aches. I gotta take like Tylenol before I work. Where is the image? Image. Let me take out the. There it is. Okay. That was the expression I was going for.
So this one has no boob window.
No boob window and no things in the hair.
Oh yeah, you didn't put her big old whatever there, antlers.
Yeah, I don't know, where's this from. Well, I think I might have looked at some reference, but not really. Steve knows I hook him up. Where's the Streamlabs?
Maybe you lost the wheel, so you can't do it.
Here we go. Here's the wheel. All right. Widgets. Spin wheel. Let me get the wheel up on this. Nope, that's not it. I think the wheel. Oh, here's the wheel. There's the wheel.
Nope.
Oh, you know what, Sean? I forgot to put your name up. This whole time.
Yeah.
Shit. Can't get like a perfect episode. Okay. Yoji's not here. But Yoji, we'll give him one. Yoji's long time. Luke's back down to 1 since Luke won once last time. Actually, the family of Luke has 3. Sean Chen, Beavis. Hey, Beavis and Butthead wins this sketch. hair is kind of fading because of the green screen effect. His hair is a little green. She looks kind of like an elf in this one from Lord of the Rings. All right, who's here? If you're new to the stream, you're eligible. Just type something in the chat box. Each stream you don't win, you get a new box. You get a new slice or an extra. You get an extra. Your slice gets a little bit bigger. If you've won, you go back down to 1. You still have a chance to win, but you just go back down to 1. And you stay at 1 for, let's say, like 2 weeks. Right. This week we've streamed every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Friday. VCA in the house. So Victor, new to the... So if you're like a subscriber, you get double. And if you're not here, you still get to keep that 1 slice. If you are not here, then your slice goes back down to 0. I think that's fair. What's Julia watching back there? Is she watching?
Oh, you can hear that?
Is she watching The First Kiss
I
on
don't
Netflix? JS Chiramino. New but been following on Instagram. So JS Chiramino, how long have you been watching tonight's stream? Sean, what was something that we said early on in the stream? Let's see if JS Chiramino can remember. We got Long is on here too. Long is new. Let me add Long. See, I was trying to get Long, like saying, Long, you've been here for a while, right? He's like, no, man, I've never... You know, I'm trying to get you an extra slice, dude. But, okay. Update, save the update. Golf Boy. Yeah, okay. Now, that's a thing that's a clause. Sean, we need to confer on this. Subscribers, after they won, do they still get multiple 2 slices?
I don't know. I don't know the logic of...
Like
I'm still up on names in a hat.
I'm saying subscribers, what you get if you win, you get 1 power up in between when you're eligible to go back up again. So if you really like the particular sketch, like let's say you really like the sketch, you know, if you just won yesterday or the day before, you know, I'm kind of going on an honor system right now. I haven't really been writing this stuff down. I'm saying, like, if you're a subscriber and you're not here, you still get a slice. But maybe you get 1 power up in between now and whenever. Makes it, I guess, a little bit more fun. Let me go back down to the slices. So, Wei. Okay, who's here? Who's not here? J Dang. Is J Dang here? Do you remember seeing J Dang earlier, Sean? Too Woke is here. Too Woke, but Too Woke, you weren't here last time. So you start back up as 1 slice. Too Woke. Have you won, Too Woke? Also, international, I think this is the last week. We will be mailing stuff out gratis. I think next stream, international, will have to cover international fare. Domestic, U.S.
Oh, J Dang is here.
J Dang is here. Okay. All right. Oh, and Suli gets added back. Suli.
I think Suli says something about the professional opt-out.
She doesn't want to win this one? There's no horse?
You can still get a slice, right? Just like
yeah, you just get 1
lesser.
slice. Yeah. You still get 1 slice. What happened with egg roll? technically Crispy has not won yet. Right? Technically. But we traded. So he did get a slice. I mean, he did get a sketch. Got the Wonder Woman sketch. But technically Crispy, because Crispy, you got the. Remember, someone else won the Wonder Woman sketch, and then I traded him the Megatron sketch, so that you got the Wonder Woman sketch. Right. Anybody else? Anybody else that's been following along? Kevin P. West. Kevin's on here. So let me go down the list again. Yoji, Luke, Sean, Beavis Butthead, Crispy with a K, J Dang, Golf Boy is here, right? Way's here, Crispy. Bench Press Crispy is here. Kevin is here. Is Kazuto still here? Obrigado. Kazuto gotta teach me another word in Portuguese. Kobe Bryant is here. Lascivious. Oh, let's do this. Let's do this is not here. Is Let's do this? Sean, is your boy here? Let's do this. Let's see.
Barry, this is Bernard's drawing.
Yeah, this is my magic. Sean did a magic last time. I drew this magic a couple months ago. Barry's here. Golf Boy is here. Si Jing is here. I saw him earlier. The Rock. Ashton is not here. Caleb, are you here? Caleb? Victor, get one. Long, 2 woke, and Suli. Okay, now down to the number of slices. Everybody's got 1. J Dang, have you won yet, J Dang? Yoji, Yoji's not here tonight. I hope he's okay. Luke won last time, right? Didn't Luke win something last time? Crispy Papa. J Dang, have you won yet? Has J Dang won yet? I gotta write this stuff down, really. Be more professional about it. I'm just gonna add you, give you another size. Golf Boy, have you won? I keep getting too woke to toke has won twice already. I'm running out of colors too. Yeah, so make sure you get your name there if you can read your name. Let me make this wheel bigger. Crispy egg roll. Kevin, have you won yet? Kevin P. West. I mean, eventually when I mail it out and I'm looking at my DMs, I'll figure out. But Kazuto. Kobe, you're at 3, but because you subscribed, you get 6. You get 1 power up. Double. Barry, up to 3 times now. Golf Boy. Did we say the Golf Boy win? I don't think Golf Boy's won yet. Sean, do you remember if Golf Boy's won? Si Jing, this is your 2nd time here. Victor, your 1st time. Long, your 1st time. 2 woke has won twice. So you're stuck at 1. Suli has won once. She won the horse one for everyone. She took one for the team. She's back down to 1. Anybody else?
Wilson Ty is here.
Wilson Ty? Wilson Thigh or Wilson Ty? Where? I don't see Wilson. How long? What? Oh, sorry, my thing hasn't updated. My scroll thing. No wonder. I'm like, gosh, nobody's writing anything. Wilson Thigh, have you been watching this stream, tonight's stream, and just not chatted? Or did you just jump on now?
You gotta give him a test. What body part was Bernard futzing with for so long
Oh,
on this drawing?
I was futzing with a body part.
Yeah, on your
Oh,
Zealot.
which Teen Titans characters was I showing the concept drawings to? Or which character that appeared in Teen Titans I was showing concept drawings to earlier in the stream? Mr. Wilson said he stayed away. All right, I'll give Mr. Wilson a slice. Wilson, what color does Mr. Wilson get? I'm running out of colors. Update this. Oh, Wilson, you got like a light blue. All right. So look for your slice. Suli's got a white slice. Two Woke's got a gray. Long, you've got like a light purple, almost a lavender. Victor, you got like a bright green. CG, you got kind of like a green, but it's like not less bright. Golf Boy, you got like a pink. Barry, you got like a yellow orange. Charger yellow. I'll give you a powder blue. How about that? Because since you're like a Charger fan, you get powder blue. Okay. Kobe purple, of course. Kazuto, kind of like a bright pink. Kevin is red. Crispy egg roll, you're white. So you and Suli. Let's see. Y, you're kind of like a neon yellow. Golf Boy, you're like a bright green. Dang, you're like a light blue. Crispy Papa, you're like a purplish pink. That's it, right? Let me update this. Kevin P. West, Bulls red, yes. Chicago. Okay. All right. And I think we've upped everybody's slices accordingly.
Oh, I guess Crispy Papa has a question about his slice.
Oh, Crispy Papa, you're right now you're at 1. So you want more, but you have the Wonder Woman sketch. I mean, technically, Crispy has not won. All right, I'll give you 5. Steve has the biggest slice since he subscribed today. But as we always say, usually the biggest slice does not win. Do you guys want to do a practice spin? Or we just spin right now?
Practice spin.
A practice spin, you know? like a what if. Everybody wants a practice spin because then Steve's going to win it. And then he won't win it again for a while. I mean, I just like spinning the wheel. Even though it's only a simple click of the button. I like when it goes kata. Alright, so look, I'm going to spin it. I'm only going to spin it once. The winner wins this magic drawing. Let me move this magic sketch out over a little bit. There we go. Thanks everybody for watching. Stay safe. Hopefully we'll be on tomorrow. Maybe in the afternoon, huh? What do you think, Sean? You got stuff to do? Let's try to do a little
I'm
earlier.
free.
Okay. Spin wheel. Spin wheel. Way. No way. Congratulations.
Oh, see, that was a big slice. So I mean,
Steve, you should have said, let's do a practice slice. Steve had 6. Way had 5.
he's got a quarter of the wheel.
Yeah. Steve, you should have said, let's do a practice slice. Way, you know the drill. Please DM me your name, address. Don't be like El Capone. And because if I just write way high on the USPS priority mail, it'll get returned. Way slice goes back down. This is what it's looking like next time. Crispy and Kobe. Crispy and Kobe. Crispy and Kobe. All right. CG, come back next time. You're gonna get a third slice. I mean, a three, because there's like sliding markers on the size of the slice. Every time you guys come back, you get a little bit bigger. People that win, you still get a chance, but it goes back down to one. We got to figure out this whole subscription thing. Because like Jim does it where he'll give like away. He used to give away like two or three, one to everybody, then one only for first tier subscribers, then one only for second tier subscribers. And right now, this lowly screen, we just have subscribers. We don't have any tiers of subscribers. So we'll have to figure it out. If you have an idea of what you would like the rule to be, throw it out there. This is it's an authoritarian regime, but I'm open to listening. This is like a homeowners association, Sean and I are the board. We make the day-to-day decisions. But we're open, since you guys are residents in the building. We're open to listening to you and what your thoughts are. Perhaps, taking those into account. We want to make sure everyone is happy and that this is fair. All right, ranted long enough. Sean, anything else?
No, we're good.
Next chapter, what? What is your thing? Next chapter?
Next chapter post. Read the full comic.
What's the link? Type it in there. Instagram?
Oh, yeah, Instagram at
right,
next.
Let me write it. Instagram.com/next chapter post. Make sure you give that a follow. Read his stuff on there.
You can read the whole thing in 15 minutes.
We'll quiz you next time.
We'll give a quiz. There'll be a test and see who.
Yeah, we should do like.
Okay.
We should do separate wheel spins, or maybe try to come up with another wheel. I like how I'm just leaving the slices as is right now, and then if you're not here, boom, you're gone. If you are, you get more. I think that's fair, right? Okay, and then next time we should only do an hour stream, so people that come on during the second hour, they think they're gaming us, but we're gonna game them right back. All right, stay safe.
All right, thanks for dropping by, everyone. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, everybody.